Hey guys, I'm Justin, the founder and CEO of Merchant, and I'm making this video to help people understand why their reports might seem like they're actually worse than they really are, which is the case in almost every example that we've looked at. So it's currently late summer 2025, and we're hearing all across the internet, people using Page and not, that their reports are looking terrible, meaning fewer views on Google search, fewer website clicks, and that their ranking radius is shrinking. And we see changes all the time with Google. We've been doing this since 2019, and every few months, Google makes an algorithm update that really impacts the search results. That's why we have a data scientist that will constantly look at all of our data and figure out what works and what doesn't, so that we can keep adjusting to make sure that you don't need to be the SEO expert, only we do. And that you get the benefits of that. And so this video answers the question of why your Google business profile might appear to be doing worse when it really isn't. Okay, there's two things that I want to talk about. The first is this top area where it talks about the views on Google, meaning Google Search and Google Maps, as well as these call to actions. And so what most people are actually seeing is that their search views have dropped like a rock, and map views have stayed, in a normal range, like, plus or minus 5% from the previous period. And the reason for that is that Google is no longer reporting or isn't yet reporting all of the times that your business shows up in AI overviews or Google AI mode. So for example, we'll do a search for med spas, Beverly Hills, and I'm just going to hit enter so that we can see the old Google business profile display. So here, these businesses are getting a view metric for showing up here. And then when somebody clicks over to the website, because they need to really learn about this business, because there's not much information here, that's going to count as a website click. Or if you hit driving directions here, that shows up as direction lookup, or this shows up as a call. So it was much easier to get these metrics in the past because people would need to click from one to one, look at the website to learn about the business. And so it was very easy to rack up views and all of these different actions on search and on maps because you had to go to the website to learn about the business to make a decision. Well, you can see that right around this time period, and it's going to vary based on business and industry and when Google started showing the AI overviews and when more consumers in your area started using AI mode. But let's do the same search here, med spas, Beverly Hills, but this time I'm going to click AI mode, which is now the default for every user in America. You can see that instead of Google making you click from business website to business website, meaning all of these businesses are getting views, now none of these business profiles are actually getting views, and Google is just serving the information to the user here so they can make a decision. So let's say that I am looking for one that can do, ultra clear. I'm not even sure what that is, but let's say that I was interested in this. This caught my eye. I'm now going to click on this profile. Only this one is getting the metric for the view. None of the other ones did. Which means that all of these other businesses, while they would have probably been clicked on in the old search result, they're not getting it anymore. But it's not to say that their profiles aren't being viewed. It's just that Google is giving you enough information here to not have to click on it to learn what you need to learn. Right? It's much easier for the consumer to look at a bunch of profiles. But again, Google is not then reporting that these got any visibility. So if you're wondering why your search views have declined significantly, that's why. It's because Google is not reporting these views unless you actually click on the profile, and people are unlikely to. Whereas in the past, you would have to click on all of these to look at the reviews and scroll around and then click over to the website, right? And so what we're seeing at a very high level is that search views falling off a cliff. Right? That's just natural. It's going to happen. People are using AI mode, and there's fewer times that someone is clicking on a profile. The next thing that we're seeing is that map views are staying relatively flat or increasing if your ranks are improving. And the reason for that is because the Google Maps search experience has not really changed, right? There's no AI overview or AI mode inside of the Google Maps application. And so this one is going to be a truer number for you. And then here what we're seeing for these call to actions like phone calls, website clicks, and driving direction requests is that 2 out of the 3 are going down and then 1 is going up in a meaningful way. And so the reason that we think this is happening is because when somebody is over here, they can pretty much figure out exactly which one they want to work with, and they know how to get in touch with them or get to them very quickly. So in almost all cases, the website clicks are going down because you don't really need to go to the website as much anymore. But driving directions is going up if it's a type of business that you typically would drive to, or if it's a type of business where you call and make an appointment, then we're seeing that the phone calls are going up. All right. So hopefully that explains why these metrics look miserable. But again, we're hearing that across the board, not just in the US, but overseas as well, that everyone's metrics are kind of looking like this. But that at the same time, businesses are getting better leads, meaning if they're getting 100 calls in a week, more of them are becoming customers than before because these are more educated people that know more about your business that are ready to talk to you. So hopefully you are seeing this trend as well in your business. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down to the heat map area of the profile, and we're going to talk about how heat maps are being affected as well. Okay, so here we are on the report where we show the before and after heat maps for certain keywords. And if you're not familiar with what these mean, basically this is saying that if someone searched for this specific keyword and they're standing right here on Earth on April 10th of 2024, they were ranking number 3. Whereas if they were in the same part of Earth in this latest update, that they were not even in the top 20. And obviously, this is not the direction that you want these to go, but Google has made a change to make it so that local businesses are showing up instead of ones that are just more optimized from further away to a degree. I'm not saying that it's impossible to rank from further away. It's definitely possible. But if you're in a highly competitive area, it's going to make it significantly harder. So, for example, this is a business in New York City, and you can see before they were ranking very well in the top 3 pretty much everywhere in the New York City area and in the boroughs around it, which is next to impossible. And you can see that in the most recent update, since Google made this change, this business is still ranking extremely well in this area closer to where the business is located. And the reason for that is that the business is still very optimized, right? Google wants this business to show up because it's a very optimized business profile and people like this business based on the reviews, but they're letting competitors take up these areas over here because it's just further from this business. And Google knows that people that are located here are very unlikely to take the hour-plus journey into Manhattan, into New York City to go and buy from this business. And so this looks very bad if you're just comparing, apples to apples. But in reality, what Google is recognizing is that people aren't going to drive that far away, and businesses aren't going to drive that to their customer if they have to, if it's more than a certain distance. So they should really focus more on what's realistic for someone to travel to get to this business or to transact with each other. And so again, while you may see a big decline in how far your business is ranking, hopefully it's still ranking in the area where realistically customers are going to come from, right? No one's going to drive 45 minutes for a slice of pizza when there's 20 pizza shops within a 10-minute drive, for example. So I actually think that this is a good change for consumers. We saw this happen about a year ago with near me searches, meaning the types of searches where someone types in pizza near me, where Google focused much more tightly in that area. And now it seems that they've expanded this beyond. And it's not just us reporting this change. Actually, if you're not familiar with Local Viking, they're one of the largest heat map ranking audit tools out there. They oversee countless businesses and know the history of how well they're all ranking. And they sent out in their newsletter back at the end of June of 2025 that they're seeing across the board visibility drops for Google business profiles. And so basically what they're saying is for the vast majority of the people that have been on their platform for audits for a long time, they're seeing that if you were ranking from here before, you're now ranking from here. And they're seeing this, that it's especially true for mom and pop businesses, but they also see it for dominant local hospital systems and nationwide businesses too. So it seems as though this is affecting everybody, and not just in the US and Canada. They also see it in France, Australia, UK, Brazil, and pretty much every other country that they've looked at it. They went on further to say that it doesn't matter if the keywords are generalized. such as Interior Painter, or very specific, like best commercial oak tree trimming service in Toadsuck, Arkansas. This algorithm change is really impacting everyone. And so what I would say is that you need to keep optimizing your Google business profile to the best of your ability, because just because you're ranking from not as far away as you used to doesn't mean that you can't still get even more customers than you got before. It's just that the calls that you're getting and the people that are walking into your shop are going to be more likely to actually buy from you. I know that when you see things like this, it appears like the sky is falling and your business is going to be in trouble. But just keep in mind that it's just a difference in the way that Google is reporting the metrics for now, and that most likely you're getting more leads than you were before, and that SEO takes at least 90 days to start working. So if you have only been optimizing for under 90 days, you need to keep with it, because typically Google starts to reward good behavior around the 4 to 6 month range, as long as you're doing everything in a Google compliant way, which is all that Page does. In times like this, some people are tempted to do black hat SEO things, and I wouldn't recommend doing that, because most likely Google will catch you and they'll actually hit you with a penalty, which means that you'll stop ranking from everywhere. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful and you have a little more comfort in the fact that your business is actually in a good spot. But if you still feel like you want to do more to optimize your Google business profile, then just head over to the optimization tab within your Page account and look at the different items that Page is suggesting that you do, and just complete all of these. And if you're not sure what some of these mean, then just use the live chat in the bottom left of Page, and our team will be more than happy to assist. We update these audit and optimization suggestions every single month based on what our data scientist finds is working in the data itself. So please make sure that you keep up to date with the optimizations in your Page account, because that is the best thing that you can do if you want to keep ranking at the top of Google Maps. Hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video and comment any questions you have below, and I will personally respond to it. Thank you so much.